All right, Tim, we're going to do it, man. Let's jump into the inside. See, here's another. This is what happened. Super chat.
It's all right.
Trio. Cooper, rookie of the month. We might hit a home run. Hey, Cooper's a real deal, man.
Yep.
I don't even see him as a rookie anymore. You know what I mean? Like
he said that. He said that in his interview. He was saying, I know, like people say, I'm young, interview kind of stuff, or I'm sorry, young, but like, you need practice kind of things. No, he's like, I'm not looking at it that way. I'm ready to play this game. We've learned a lot. I'm excited for next year when he's got more time. But this team isn't rookies anymore. That's what I like to see. We've got one game at a time.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, Cooper, I think, is a real deal. When you start hearing about players like Cooper doing things that haven't been done since 2000, you got something going on. I mean, you're talking about a quarter of a century, right? It's wild to think about. But
real quick, guys, if we could, we got over 400 people watching. So if you could hit that like and maybe hit that share and subscribe, that'd be great.
Yeah, appreciate y'all making us a part of your morning. All
right,
I got
to step away. I got to grab another coffee refill. I'll be right back.
Man. Take your time, man. So let's go to as soon as we get to the PFF insights, Tim leaves, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the point spread. It's now up to 5.5 points. So this started at 3, depending on where you get, depending on who your bookie is, 3 to 3.5 point favorites, where the Eagles are now up to 5.5 point favorites. I put a tweet out earlier today. I got excited about this. I don't think people knew how to take the tweet, but I love it. So as it sits right now, 90% of the money is on the Eagles on the money line bet, meaning 90% of the public's money is on the Eagles to win the game outright. Forget the spread. I got excited when I seen that. I said, oh boy. Let's go. So just want to point that out. 5.5 point favorite now. The juice, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, is plus 195 on Green Bay there for the money line. So we already hit all the efficiency numbers, so let's jump into the insights. We'll kind of go rapid fire. I want to get your all's take on each of them, though. I know, first of all, we got Coach Lamb with the chat here. Wyatt could be a game record today. Would love LVN to have a coming out party. Yeah, that's the thing about Wyatt. He's been banged up most of the year, right? So we may have the healthiest version of Wyatt as well. So great point there. LVN, I think he got a sack last year in the Dallas game, if I remember correctly. So he's one that kind of rose to the occasion there in the playoffs, being one of, I think, 3 Packers to get a sack. The other one was Keyshawn Nixon. Boy, you talking about a guy who rises to the occasion in big games. Keyshawn, He's a gamer, man. He really is. All right, first insight. Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry. I'm not sure what the hell Derrick Henry has to do with this game, but here we are, right? It says Josh Jacobs has 22 rushing touchdowns since 2022, which are second most in the NFL behind only Derrick Henry's 41 touchdowns in that span. That's crazy. So, yeah, Josh Jacobs. And, again, we had Eagles fans. I got those Recibos on Twitter, too, saying, I watched the last 5 games, and Josh Jacobs isn't a good back. All right, appreciate it there, Philly John. Just so you know, he's only second behind only Derrick Henry in rushing touchdowns in the last 2 years. So that catch you guys off guard or no?
It does. One, because I don't realize how good Josh Jacobs has been, but 2, just, I mean, you could double that and he's right there with Derrick Henry. I mean, that's crazy. That's a far cry from the fall off from number 1 to number 2 is kind of insane. Just shows you how crazy Derrick Henry's been.
Yeah. How crazy Tennessee is for letting that dude walk. That's just insane.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you got something for him. You know what I mean? But
talk about the Giants getting rid of Saquon and our boy X, right? Well, what about Tennessee giving up Malik and
Derrick? They gave up Derrick Henry, Malik, and AJ Brown.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's right. We can't forget about AJ Brown.
They had a franchise like dynasty mode right there, and they kind of.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they had Fitzpatrick, baby. They had Fitzpatrick. That's all they needed. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic.
Fitzmagic. All right. Eagles insight here. The Eagles finished with a 9-0 record during the regular season when Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith all played the full game together. So, obviously, you keep that trio together, they're going to do amazing things. Again, it's one of the best wide receiver tandems in the league. There's no 2 ways about that. Next matchup, we talked about this earlier in the week, if you guys remember. Jaden Reed versus Cooper DeJean. Jordan Love completed 3 of 5 passes when targeting Jaden Reed in the slot for 129 yards and a touchdown in week 1 against the Eagles. He completed just 14 of 29 other passes for 131 yards and a touchdown and an interception. The Eagles defense struggled to defend the slot during their first 4 games when Avonte Maddox was their primary nickel, allowing the second most yards per target at 9.0 and 5 touchdowns. That was tied for most. Cooper DeJean took over as the nickel after the Eagles' Week 5 bye, and they allowed just 5.2 yards per slot target in weeks 6 through 18, 1.2 yards fewer than any other defense. So Cooper DeJean has locked that slot down. We heard other Philly fans jump in the chat and talk about how they like to play big nickel, even against base sets. So for me, the answer is press into the run, boys. Press into the run, especially out of 12 personnel. If they're going to be in big nickel, run right at that nickel. Run right at DeJean. You know what I mean? Have Sean Ryan pull over and smack that slot in the mouth. That's the way I would approach that. Emilio, you got any take on that there as far as Cooper DeJean and his rise to fame there in Philly, man?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good pick for Philly, right? But I'm still not mad at where our wide receivers are. I think, we can get Jaden Reed on some slot crosses, stuff like that. I think we could probably open it up. The wide receiver core is just going to have to play a great game altogether. I mean, it's just going to have to be a collection of guys that are making this happen instead of, one dude blowing up. If we get a 100-yard receiver, cool. I think we're going to have like 3, 50 to 80-yard guys and just kind of run it like that. Jordan Love's just going to have to play well. We're going to have to hit some of those explosives like we've been talking about and, catch everything that hits you. We just can't have drops, minimal penalties, no more than 3. Just let Jordan go to town.
All right, before we dive into the next insight, we got a super chat here from our boy Randy Steen. Do y'all think the Vikings pay Darnold in the offseason? That's a great question. If it were me, the way Darnold has played, I think I would. And it's because J.J. McCarthy is on a rookie contract, and quarterback is that important. I would look to give him a 2 or a 3-year deal, he being Darnold, and then by the end of that contract, you'll know if J.J. McCarthy is the next starting quarterback for the Vikings. And if you do a 2-year deal, we all know a 2-year deal is really a 1-year deal. A 3-year deal is really a 2-year deal. Then if for some reason Darnold returns back to his old form next year, you can go ahead and make the switch to J.J. McCarthy and cut bait the following year. You'll absorb a cap penalty, but you'll still free up cap space from the current cap. I don't know how you guys feel about that, man, because that is a unique situation there with Sam Darnold.
It's kind of scary because they have an opportunity to do what we've been doing for decades, which is have a young quarterback with a veteran in front and let that young quarterback develop. We mentioned that when McCarthy got injured going into the season, and I said, oh boy, this might actually be bad news for Packers fans. And turned out that's exactly what happened because Darnold had him cooking. So I think you're right, Clay. I think they try and get him on a deal, keep McCarthy throughout his rookie contract, develop him. If they see, potential and they see a future there, maybe they make a move then. But I think the Vikes probably do pay him. What about you, Beard? What do you think?
Well, I honestly, it is.
By the way, you two are out of control in the private chat, for the record.
I'm not doing nothing. Amelia is the one that can't be an adult. I think you have to pay him at least for a 1 or 2 year contract. What's also unique is they have a really crowded room also with JJ McCarthy, but correct me if I'm wrong on the chat, but I think they have Danny Dimes on that roster as well.
Yeah. Yep.
And then one other quarterback that isn't like somebody you'd shake a stick at. It'd definitely be a 3rd stringer on most teams. It's a weird situation, especially with how good they were this year. I never would have thought that they would have been a 14-win team, but it would be the Viking type thing to kick Darnold to the curb, get JJ in there. He looks like crap. All of a sudden they're scrambling for quarterback again for the next 3 or 4 seasons. So I think they're damned if they do, damned if they don't, but I think it better be safe than sorry. Keep the quarterback room very competitive.
Yeah, if you guys are wondering what's going on in the private chat, I'll just flash it up here for you. Emilio asked Jacob, how's my campus feeling this morning? So,
all right.
Here's a guy.
All right. Emilio, what do you think about this Darnold talking?
Yeah, I think pay the kid. Let JJ sit a little bit longer. Still coming off an injury. You're probably not going to want to throw him out there right away. 3-year deal. Let him run for 1 and then try to sell him off in year 2 if you can, something like that. But, if you win 14, you won 14 games this year, it's tough to tough to turn an eye at that quarterback and not bring him back.
Yeah, definitely.
Do we got some breaking news here? I don't know.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Coach Lynn, Mike Vrabel is officially the new head coach of the Patriots.
You heard it from a fan right here.
If you followed that any little bit at all, you could kind of see that happening even going into last year. When Gerard Mayo was hired, I thought immediately, and I listened to it's called Patriots Unfiltered. It's one of my favorite podcasts just because those guys have been covering championship team for so long. They do a great job. It's good training for me too, trying to run a not so crappy podcast, although we fell miserably. But they said all along, if Mike Vrabel comes calling, Gerard Mayo's gone, and that's exactly what happened, right? But yeah, breaking news. Appreciate that, Coach Lynn. I love the hire. I think he's going to do great in New England. I think he should have had a job last year. And think about what Tennessee did with that whole organization from the front office. You guys remember the draft where Vrabel got pissed in the draft room and walked out? Y'all remember that? Like, because they traded A.J. Brown. He's like, what are we even doing right now? So, yeah, interesting. So, there you go, Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, someone else, another podcast I was listening to, Clayton Khan, was saying the same thing. It was like, dude, the fact that, Gerard Mayo got 1 year, and as long as nobody picked up Vrabel this past year, they were like, all right, we'll give Gerard a year just to try it out, man. But he's gone, and we're bringing Vrabel in right off the bat afterwards, and just let him go to town. I think he's learned a lot. He's the one sitting in there talking with Coach on his podcast. You know what I mean? It's not like he's not just like Bill and same ideas, all that.
Yeah. The other thing with that too is like the fans lost a lot of trust in the Crafts this year with that documentary they put out on Belichick. The fans were loud on that. Like it's basically, if you guys haven't watched, I won't bore you with too much of it, but the Crafts essentially blame Bill for the downfall of the franchise, although they don't give him any credit for, building it up the way he has. He's had full football control the whole time. So I think this is a way to – they showed the parking lot an hour and a half before that last game in New England. It was tumbleweeds in the parking lot. It's like, oh, boy, they're sending a message. That did not happen in New England, even back in the dark ages. So, yeah, it's I think Mike Vrabel is the perfect hire. You can kind of get that Bill Belichick back in there. The fans are going to be excited about it. I'm sure he'll help bridge the gap, bring Bill back from time to time to keep him involved with the organization as well, just from a PR standpoint. But anyway, Chris sharing the private chat's a serious breach of trust. Let me tell you, there's some scumbags in here. Scumbags in here. So that's the way that works. Milltown Corey, if the Rams smash Darnold today, it might be hard to pay him. Hey, that's a very fair point, boys. I mean, what if he goes out and lays an egg in the playoffs today, right? He being Darnold. You got to think twice about paying him, right? I mean, am I wrong there or no?
I think so. Yeah. I think so, because that's what you're looking for your QB1 to do, right? Be effective in the postseason. Winning 14 games means nothing if you crap the bed in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, I was going to say his first big knock was that he wasn't a quarterback, that he wasn't an NFL quarterback, that he couldn't win a game. So now for sure, like Tim just said, that he's shown that he can win 14 regular season games, but the second he gets into the playoffs, if he lays a big old turd, then he's not going to get that. That's the last thing that that's the last taste they're going to have in their mouth. It's just big old turd.
Yeah, just a big old turd
sandwich.
Yeah. Turd. You can't have that turd.
Pat you on the butt and you poop my hands. So
perfect drop, Tim. Randy Steen with the super chat. They traded A.J. Brown to draft Treylon Burks, known commodity. Yeah, that's a tough look right there, man. It's like, and honestly, I don't understand people being just head over heels over draft picks as opposed to trading a third round pick for a proven good player. Like, I don't understand that at all. Unless your team is so far away that you're like, hey, let's build up enough collateral to try to get a franchise quarterback in the next 2 or 3 years, or, whatever it may be. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. I was excited about Treylon Burks too, man. They're talking about he hunted wild hogs with a knife. I'm like, that's my dude. I want him at receiver. You talking about no block, no rock. That's the guy to do it. But boy, oh boy, that has not worked out getting rid of A.J. Brown. That's crazy.
Right.
Thank you for the super chat, Randy. Appreciate you. Let's go back to the insights. You guys keep an eye on the super chats for me if something comes in. Saquon Barkley became the 9th player in NFL history to record at least 2,000 rushing yards in a season. Hall of Famer Terrell Davis in 1998 is the only one of the previous 8 to advance past the wild card round in their 2,000-yard season, eventually winning Super Bowl 33.
Yeah, we remember Terrell Davis. We remember that. Damn it.
That's okay. That's okay, Tim. I like the odds right there.
That's what I was going to say.
I like the odds.
You read between the lines there, and it's like, really, only one of those made it past the wild card round. That's very interesting stat. I love the NFL Pro insights are awesome, man. Just things you would never otherwise be able to find. Jair Alexander and A.J. Brown. Jair Alexander lined up against A.J. Brown on 23 of his 35 routes, 65% of his routes, and pressed him on 6 of the 23. Alexander came away with an interception, but also allowed 4 receptions for 108 yards and a touchdown when targeted as the nearest defender against Brown, the second most yards he's allowed to a single receiver in a game in his career. Alexander was placed on injured reserve before the Packers' final game of the season.
Things could be a lot worse. I could be a Bears fan.
I honestly think schematically, this is kind of a strength for the Packers. You don't have to deal with the whole, does Ja need to be on A.J. Brown? Does Ja need to be on A.J. Brown? Just play your defense, call your defense, man. That's one positive coming out of it. Now, is the Packers secondary better without Jair Alexander? Absolutely not, in my opinion. It's definitely not that cut and dry. What do you guys think about that, though? Do you think AJ maybe doesn't have as big a day with Ja out, seeing that we tried to kind of force him in man coverage on AJ Brown that week 1 matchup?
I mean, I think A.J. Brown's going to get his regardless. You know, he's a threat, but I think we do have a better chance playing team defense rather than, trusting Ja to shadow him all the time. I'm looking forward to seeing Carrington Valentine line up on A.J. Brown, see how that looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't mind the fact that, we're kind of just playing, like Tim said, team defense there. Kind of just let that go and just let's have Hurts pass it to try to beat us without routes and all that stuff. I think, honestly, we just need to protect the inside, like I've been saying, protect the middle and, force him to try to hit the deep balls and out routes and stuff like that. And we'd be all right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jacob. You mark this one. Read this one off, brother.
Yeah, Mr. So Turtle says Valentine been clamps, 0 touchdowns allowed. And that, I believe, if you guys remember, we showed a stat that was the only Packer to have done that over 250 plus snaps played in the last 11 years, if I remember correctly, which is pretty insane. I'm excited to see how CV handles that as well. Jen Wright kind of backs that up and says CV's going to make his mark today. That would be cool. And then also I like Prince highlights that 80 plus of those yards was on one play as far as what Ja gave up right there. So some stuff to think about.
I just want to say that it was in man coverage. All right. This stat right here, man. I think this is very important. Jalen Hurts is 21-4 in the regular season and playoff home games since 2022, which is the best home record of any quarterback to start 20 home games in that span. 21-4 at home, boys. Jalen Hurts is money at the link, right? Let's see if there's some rust, though, right? As you said, Rusty. What was your stripper name? Rusty Cheeks. What was it, Jake?
Rusty Hurts. No, we know Jacob loves the cheeks, but no, it's Rusty Hurts.
Thank you, Emilio.
Tim, you got anything to add to this? Try to make this professional. I mean, you see what these guys do to me.
Yeah, I see it. And I'm here for it, though. We love it. No, I think looking at that, hey, he's due to crap the bed, right? Sometime. Maybe it's today. Let's
there you go. Some would look at that and go, he's dominant at home. Others would go, he's due for a stinker, right? Yep. So all depends on how you look at it. Let's go. Jordan Love versus the Eagles defense. Jordan Love completed 11 of 15 quick passes under 2.5 seconds with the ball in his hand for 102 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, but just 6 of 19 passes with a time to throw over 2.5 seconds for 158 yards and a touchdown in week 1 against the Eagles. Love's 31.6% completion percentage on passes with a time to throw over 2.5 seconds stands as his lowest rate in the game in his career, minimum of 5 attempts. On the season, the Eagles defense allowed the second lowest completion percentage of 53.4% and the fewest yards per attempt at 6.5 on passes with a time to throw over 2.5 seconds. What does that say, guys? Get the ball out of your freaking hand, Jordan Love. Take what the defense is giving you all day long. Don't try to get too greedy. If you hit a home run, I'm going to celebrate. Go ahead, guys. You have the floor.
I'm gonna celebrate, he said. No, that's it, man. We got to get it out fast and then take advantage of those shot plays. I don't think there's really anything else to it, and the receivers have to step up. You only have 60 minutes, right? Overtime if you're lucky. Let's go out there and play.
Yeah, you got to be fast and decisive. If Jordan's going to stand back there and pat the ball, we're going to be in trouble. Either get it out quick or get the hell out of there quick. Something.
Yeah. Philly Boy HIR in the chat. I'm here at the game. Go Pack Go. Appreciate you representing there, Philly Boy. Take care of business.
Philly Boy, will you just send our link around? Here, we'll put it up for you. We'll go ahead. This QR code. Go ahead and just scan that. Everybody, if you can just get everybody you're with to go ahead and scan that and sign up, we'd be good.
He's going to say, yeah, it's to a YouTube show. They're going to scan it and go, what the hell? Patreon. What is it? Amelia running one of them pyramid things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is. All right, let's see. The Eagles just allowed 15.9 points per game and 251.5 total yards per game after their Week 5 bye. Keep in mind, that's when Cooper DeJean took over his slot, both of which ranked first in the NFL over that span. No other team in the NFL allowed fewer than 19 points per game or 300 total yards per game in that same span. So obviously the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles is humming right now. Jordan Love versus that Eagles defense. The Eagles defense blitzed on 32.4% of the Packers team dropbacks in Week 1, their third highest blitz rate in a game this season. Jordan Love was not sacked, but completed just 6 of 12 passes against the blitz for 38 yards and a touchdown, 3.2 yards per attempt. Overall, Zach Bond with 3, Jalen Carter with 3, and Nolan Smith with 2 were the only Eagle defenders to generate multiple pressures in the game. So they look to heat Jordan up in that Week 1 matchup. We'll see if they keep that same energy today for sure. Randy Steen with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. And please, for the love of God, give Jordan some easy rhythm throws early, just some sticks and slants, all I'm asking for. Yeah, that's what I want to see too, Randy. But he's got to take them. You know, the way you sound right here in this super chat is exactly how I was going into our post-game show following the Bears game. You guys remember, I'm like, man, this just felt like they did not give him anything underneath, that LaFleur was trying to be too aggressive. I went back and watched the tape, and boy, was I wrong. There were options everywhere, and Jordan just kept holding the ball. Got to get it out of your hand. Got to take what the defense gives.
It's really analysis paralysis. I truly believe it. Like, he gets back there and gets to that second read or gets a glance at the third, and he's like, man, I got 2 or 3 guys open. Where do I want to go with the ball? And by then you're in the pocket too long, and bad things happen. You got to just get it out, trust a read, and hit that guy in stride.
Yeah.
Yep. Jordan's PFF grade passing when kept clean 86.8, under pressure 53.9, not blitzed 81.4, when blitzed 64.2.
Yeah, they'll try to heat him up, won't they?
Yeah, I think so.
They'd be stupid not to, for sure.
Right.
So if that's the case, man, get the ball out of your hand quick. Take what the defense gives you, man, for sure. Yep. Oh, Lord.
Finally.
Kicker, coffee, talk. With
the little coffee chat. Talk. We'll have a little coffee talk.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm feeling verklempt.
You guys say something smart. I'm going to go pull the kicker statistics real quick, and we're going to do it.
Brandon McManus, game winner from 50 yards. Let's go.
Oh, dude, I can't handle that, Tim. Please don't do that.
It'll be right down the middle, too.
Oh, my Lord. I don't think I can honestly handle a game if it comes down to the last kick. I really want us to at least jump out to a 2-score lead, and then let's just slowly chip away like last night with the Ravens. If they do anything, we immediately come back and score, keep that buffer. I don't have to go to the hospital. Everything's good.
Dude, but if I'm going to be honest, though, if Saquon tries to run like Henry last night, it's going to be a long game. If that goes down, you know what I mean? Like that is just one thing I just don't want to have. I'd rather have Hurts throw for 500 than to see just Saquon churn up 300 yards on us.
Yep, agreed.
Trying to zoom this in for the old men in the room here. All right,
quick, Nick McSwain, real quick. Would be poetic if the Eagles lost because of their kicker and we win because of ours. I love it.
Oh, that would be great.
Let's go.
So field goal percentage on the year. Okay. This Makatami, all right, he's only kicked one time. He made that kick, so we got to throw that out, right? So obviously it don't count. So your top kicker in the league this year was Nick Folk with the Tennessee Titans at 95.5%. He was 21 of 22. Second, Brandon McManus, 20 of 21 for 95.2% with a long of 55.
And 100% from 50-plus yards. Mick money. Let's go.
And 100% on the extra points, guys. He was 25 for 25 on the extra points.
Yep.
So, now let's go find their kicker real quick. All right, let's see. Oh man,
keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
There
There he is.
We got a winner. Okay. So we finally found something that we could talk crap about. What are these Eagle fans bragging about? Their kicker sucks. You know?
Can you put something up like that, Click? Can you tweet it out to all the Eagles fans? What's all this talk about? And you just don't even have a kicker.
It's a Yins too, right? Like they do in Pennsylvania.
Get them
Yins
stirred
don't
up.
even have a kicker.
Philly over there looking for a kicker, like.
Which, by the way, that fruitcake, where did he finish at? Let's find out. So he finished 13th right, at 89.7. All right, that's good information. All right, so again, Philadelphia's kicker, Jake Elliott, 28 of 36 for 77.8% field goal percentage. 9 for 9 in those short ones, 10 for 11 in kind of the short to mid range, 8 of 9 in that mid to long range, but in the long range ones, 50 or plus, right? 50 yards or plus, 1 for 7. He also missed an extra point this year as well. So yeah, I mean, if there is a weak spot, if this comes down to a field goal and they're kicking it, I kind of like our chances, boys. 77.8%. Not that good, Bub. You know,
how crazy is it to see Justin Tucker at 32 on this list?
I was gonna say
how the mighty have fallen. Wow.
Yeah. And again, man, that's people at I remember the preseason, really it was about week 2. It's like, go trade for Justin Tucker. Could you imagine if they had given up a second round pick or something crazy and said, let's go get Justin
Tucker? That would have been disaster.
and he would have ended up worse. I mean, that's just crazy. Do we know where any of our former kickers are?
Greg Joseph right there. Greg Joseph was in camp. Okay.
So he's better than Justin.
Washington, New York Jets.
Yeah. Tough.
Where's our boy Anders Carlson on this list?
That's great. Let's see where Anders.
There's Narvison.
There's the Narv dog.
Nice.
Narv dog.
12 of 18 for 66.7.
Poor guy.
Wow, I don't see him on here. Where is he?
Who you look for? Anders Carlson?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he didn't have enough kicks.
Oh, there he is. Oh no, that's his brother. That's his brother. Okay. Oh, there he is. Right, the Jets.
Yeah, 16th.
Okay.
Green Bay East.
13 of 15. But look at the extra points, 12 of 15. People were going, we've got a playoff game today, and you're talking kickers. That's what happens when the super chats kicker talk. I don't make the rules. We just follow them. All right.
Did you guys see J.K. Scott get his kick blocked last night too?
Did he really on the Chargers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all want to go to the punting stats too? Or?
Oh gosh. Well, we know we're crushing it there. We got the best punter in the NFL on our team.
He has been amazing. So there you go. There's your kicker talk. I hope you're happy. We lost viewers because of it. So thank you for the super chat though. Anything else y'all want to hit on here, man? Anything else?
Trick play from the special teams. Yes or no? Trick play from the special teams.
Oh, no.
Trying to give me a heart attack today. What do you mean by trick play, Emilio?
Like, okay, something like Bears, something like the Bears, or okay, let's, special team's going to make a play. Are we going to have a block? Anything like that?
We said no, don't get cute. Now you're over here talking about doing
a block
fake.
is cute.
Yeah, but a block's not a trick play.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But a block is
me over the years. It's been so rare.
I think when you say trick play on special teams, I'm thinking, lateral on a return or something, and try
maybe a direct snap to the up man. Too.
I could see that on a maybe.
I think we should have Jordan Love play kicker.
Okay.
Malik Willis hold. Yeah. And then when they snap the ball, he flips it over his shoulder to Jordan Love, who rolls right and pretends to fake.
He thinks about faking.
He thinks about faking.
He fakes the fake.
And then
we're going to give him some.
He comes back across the field and they run a speed. They run shut up. They run a speed option to Sean Ryan with the pitch. All right.
Shovel underneath to Sean as he's coming back across.
Don't put
Come
that
on,
name
guys.
in my mouth right there.
Put it in the chat. Quote, don't get cute. That's quoted by Rusty Hurts. Or Rusty guy. Rusty Cheeks is Rusty Hurts' cousin. Different name. Yeah. Twice removed. Lovely singing voice. But here we go. Joseph getting it back on track. Wear the right cleats today, fellas, please.
Yes.
God's sakes.
They put
Yeah,
fresh
that's
sod
gonna be
down on that field a couple days ago.
fresh sod. Don't know how the cleats are going to react. Get out there early. Test them out, right? Like I was saying, man, have a short, mid, and long stud. And not that stud, Jacob. What's wrong with you? And be ready to go out there and get in the right shoes, man. Get the right
On
kit.
Stud was my stripper name in college, so
I thought you were going to say preschool.
That's terrible.
It is terrible, Chuck. Who you telling? I was trying to see if there was any other insights. We just got a few minutes left. I think we're on track. We'll let's get some parting thoughts here. We're going to do a pregame show. We'll have the actives, inactives, all that good stuff for you guys and gals. But if you would hit that like button, we got a bunch of people in here. I don't know why, but we appreciate you hanging out with us. It's awesome. Seriously. So let's go around the horn with it once here. I don't care who goes first, man.
Well, we'll probably cover it more as we get into the pregame show. But right now, like I said, I just want us to focus on coming out fast and strong. And if we can run the ball, great. But whatever we got to do to get up fast and just maintain that kind of momentum, the all gas, no break. I'm sick of the cliches, but I do want us to actually come out and then not take the foot off the gas, whatever that means. I don't want us to talk about getting too cute. I don't want to get too conservative as well. I want it just right. It better be just right, or I'm going to come out here and complain. No.
Yeah, our guys better wake up with their piss hot, like I said before. So.
What will just get you stirred up, Jacob? What will just make you just the maddest off the bat?
Flea flicker on the first play of the game.
I tell you what would get me the most jacked is if we get Cox going right away. If he comes out fast and hard, I'm telling you.
That would just get you right up, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just the tip.
Me, Brett.
Emilio, go ahead, please.
We need to be 80% in the red zone, and we need to have 0 turnovers, less than 3 penalties. I mean, if not, this is going to be a long game. The team is ready. I mean, we've played all year for it. Everyone's in the NFL. Everyone's made it here. Let's just go out and play the game. 100% on the field. Leave it all out there, and let's just play.
All right, Tim.
Discipline. No horse collar tackles, Mr. Inigbare. No lining up on the ball. Nothing stupid. Let's not give them any extra advantages. We already looked at the matchup. So if we shoot ourselves in the foot, we might as well just go back to Green Bay. Got to play as close to perfect as we can today.
Yeah. And we don't need to do this. Daniel says 1 trick play per drive. No, sir, please stop that. All right. No, like Tim said, obviously you got to win the turnover differential. It's going to be huge today in a close game. Control the explosives. Like I said, been a broken record all year long. Let's stay away from man coverage. This is a talented receiving core. Keep everything in front of you. You got to choose one or the other. You're either going to take the outside zone away or the outside run away or the inside run away. I'm choosing outside. I think most of the guys here said, hey, control it between the tackles. But it's all about that explosive count. Randy Steen with the super chat says, I think Cox can find a lane and give it to Johnson. All right. Appreciate you. Randy.
Just
Amen.
Thick.
You paid the toll, so we appreciate you, man.
Yep. It's going to be nice. Watch Cox fill that A gap. It's going to be good.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it. We're out of here. We will I don't know if we'll be back or not. We might be canceled by the time the pregame comes around.
You heard it from a fan right here.
We had a question in here. We have marked, I believe. Here it is. Joseph says, when's the pregame show start? It's going to be 2 p.m. Central Time. So 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. We're going to take you up to about 20 minutes till kickoff. We'll be bringing you the actives, inactives, all that good stuff, giving you live shots from the stadium, any news that may or may not break. Obviously, we'll be talking everything Packers, Eagles at that time. And then immediately following the game, we'll be doing a pregame or a postgame show recapping all the action. Hopefully, we're recapping a Packers dub, but look, there's nobody in here who's being unrealistic. This is going to be, like Tim said, it's going to be a tough matchup, man. You're going to have to play damn near flawless to beat this Eagles team, especially still missing, Jair Alexander and now Christian Watson being out as well. But you know what? It's us against the world. Let's go shock them. That's the way I see it. So, fellas, appreciate your time. This was fun. We'll see y'all on the pregame show. Everybody have a great day. I'm going to go remove some snow for a customer. So,
pressure.
there we are. Emilio, get in your truck and get up here.
All right. I got you.
All right, we're by.
There we go.
Bye, guys.